Jennifer Charette. I'm 51 now, but about 8 years ago, I'm a very active person. I didn't want to have that monthly period anymore, so I went and got an IUD with my gynecologist that I used to always go to. Anyway, she had a hard time putting that in. It was very painful. She suggested an ultrasound, and that's where it was, the fibroids. She gave me the, just leave it alone. It'll go away eventually. Or you can go for fibroid removal. And she gave me a whole bunch of different types. I just didn't have time for it. So, and the IUD was working. I had no symptoms from that. And then a couple more years, I actually was going for MRIs with my back. I had hit the ceiling of an aircraft and through some severe turbulence, and I ended up herniating some discs, annular tear, and separation of my labrum in my hip. And yeah, it was a lot, but I powered through it. And they said, hey, every time they said, oh, you got these herniated discs, by the way, you have a very large fibroid. But again, it wasn't bothering me. Forward, I was getting severe sciatic pain. I could deal with the back. I went through some rehab on that. The hip was what was killing me, the separation of my hip. That was killing me, no surgery. Got better from that. Sciatic was killing me. And then 2021, I fly the world. I'm a cabin attendant. I ended up in England, and I had bladder issues. I had retention, and I ended up walking myself to the local emergency room in England. And they did everything that they could there, and they ended up sending me home with a catheter, which was crazy.
Yeah.
So of course it was because I couldn't pee. I couldn't do anything. And so all the MRIs I had on my back, everybody telling me that I had these fibroids, I had asked them, do you think that's causing the sciatic pain? Now, when I had the MRI done on in England of my bladder, they saw the fibroid, and I asked them, do you think that's pushing on my bladder and causing the retention? And they said, no. That's the thing. No, I guess I just have a high tolerance for pain too. And I think that IUD was doing something for me, because it wasn't, every once in a while I have these extreme heavy periods where, like, oh my God, I can't leave the house. It bothered me too much. I kind of, again, trooped forward with it. It was mostly my back and the bladder issues. When that bladder issues started happening, it was around the holidays. They sent me home with it. I went to the hospital near me, and they're like, oh, go see your urologist. And I'm like, I really don't think I have a urology problem. And that was the thing. Nobody was listening to me. I even went to my own OB-GYN, and her cure was sending me home with my own self catheterizations. It was my bladder that I was scared of, because I travel so much. I don't want to be in England was fine, but I don't want to be somewhere where, we have great hospitals here. England has great hospitals too. I didn't want to be somewhere, I have a trip coming to Brazil soon. I don't want to be, it's scary. I'm sure there's great doctors there too, but I don't want my crew to leave me. December, I was contracting a lot, and I kind of had enough, because I was getting scared again that I was going to be caught somewhere with this issue. And it was mostly my bladder. My sciatic was just off the charts, and I couldn't take that pain anymore either. So I made an appointment with a fibroid specialist, and I went to him, and it was an interview. We went and sat, and I ended up saying to him, am I taking up your time? Because I feel like you really are not interested in me as a new client. And just his demeanor, the way he acted. And because he's running his hands through his hair and like, why are you here kind of attitude. And I didn't like that. I was like, wait, you're the fibroid specialist. So whatever, regardless, he's like, well, we'll send you for an MRI, which he did. And I did ask him before the MRI, do you think it's pushing on my bladder, the fibroid? And he said, no, but your website says bladder issues. Do you think it's pushing on my back, or, causing the sciatic issues? He goes, no, but your website says that. All right. Went for the MRI. Came back in, he showed me, yeah, it's big. It is pushing on your bladder. It's smushed. Okay, great. He goes, one or two things, leave it alone, or we'll do a hysterectomy. He goes, if we do the hysterectomy, you're not a candidate for any laparoscopic or robotic. It's too big. So we're going to have to do a C-section type of scar. He goes, either vertical or horizontal. You'll be 12 weeks down. I'm thinking vertical. And I said, I'm thinking, no, you're not doing a vertical cut on me. I don't have time to be 12 weeks done. But why would you do a vertical cut when you've been doing horizontal for years? Options, you can do it or not. So I just set the appointment, went home. And at that same time, I was also got a job with this account full time. So I'm like, I can't be down for 12 weeks. So I just started searching. And I think I came upon your website by accident and read how there's a big difference between a surgeon and an OB/GYN who does the old school grandma hysterectomies, women's health, and birthing babies. And then there's a difference between a surgeon. And so I read up more. I also did my own research. Like, this is too good to be true. This is too good to be true. I don't think I'm a good candidate. Wait, where are they located? I thought it would be like located out in California. And then I saw Montclair, New Jersey, which is right around the corner for me. I was like, oh my God. So I set the appointment and I went and saw the doctor, and I just wanted to hug him too, because is very caring. And he sat there and drawing pictures like, this is, I sent him all my MRIs from all my back issues and the one I just had done. He goes, yes, you have a very large fibroid. He goes, you are I didn't know if I was a candidate. He says, you're a candidate. And I was like, oh, okay, set me up. And that's how I came across you guys. And if I could crawl through the phone, when I talked to him on the phone the other day, I would have given him a hug. He's, and he's so humble. I said, it's amazing. I thank you so much, because if I could crawl through the phone, I would, and give you a hug. He goes, it's all about the procedure. And I said, yeah, I understand that, but it's also about you being such into women's health. I don't think I guess because I did so much research, I didn't have a lot of question going in. I trusted it. And I felt so confident in what they did that I just trusted it automatically. Even when, pre-op, they were asking me if I'm like, no, I don't have any questions. Let's do this. Yeah. I'm not, I don't trust things too much, but I definitely trusted this because there was so much information on their website that helped a lot. I was trying to encourage another person to look into it. She lives out in California. Her family lives here. And I'm like, she ended up having one. I don't know what they did, but I think that what really, I think I had the questions on was, it was so minimally invasive. How much blood loss was I going to have? And it astounded me that I had none. Like post-op, nothing. Because I didn't want to accept blood if there was an issue. And the previous doctor, who was the fibroid specialist, he was like, I can't do this procedure without giving you blood, which just scared me. Right. And so this is one of the reasons I went towards what you guys do, because that minimal invasive surgery with less blood loss, which was fantastic for me.
Right.
And then post-op, I took it easy. I had my family yelling at me a lot, telling me to take it easy. I did walk the next day just to get the pressure off my chest out from the carbon dioxide. By the end of the week, I was driving. Nobody was believing me. By the following week, that Tuesday, I'm a gym rat. So I went to the gym, and I was smart. I did a lot of walking. I have stuff at home, but I actually went to the gym. I wasn't lifting terribly heavy because it was great. There was no what was it? Post-op stuff that you had to be, I can't even think of the word, not to do, like, don't lift this much weight.
Right.
Yeah, restrictions. It was just use your common sense. And I did. I took 2 weeks off from work. My pilots are fantastic. They totally get it. I have to listen to their prostate issues. They have to listen to my hysterectomy issues. We're like one big family. Yeah, I think tomorrow will be 4 weeks out. And last week, or this past week, like I said, I'm a big tomboy. My husband and I went quad riding for a charity event, and I rode my sports quad in the woods over rocks and roots and stuff like that, and felt perfectly fine. It's definitely be your own advocate. Don't stand for what another doctor is going to tell you, and then do your research and ask the questions. Like, okay, I didn't ask enough questions from you guys because I felt safe, but somebody else might have more questions. I had the doctor called me post-op, and a couple weeks later, and he's like, you had the size uterus of 10 uteruses. That's how big and how so he said a normal one is 70 grams. Mine was 691 grams. And I love they give you pictures of everything when they're done. So, yeah, I think just be your own advocate. You got to ask questions. I go, you know, we as women, I feel like sometimes we're still in that era where women aren't cared for as much as men are. And I love that I found somebody that is just a true believer in women's health and making them feel better. And I think the other part of it is great for women who still want to conceive. I'm past that, but I think that's what's amazing. I have a young girl right now asking me about the whole procedure, and she's like, we need to talk. And I'm like, well, then, you know, you have to go see him if you want to do it. And she's a nurse. She works in an emergency room. So she gets it. She understands. Just encourage women everywhere just to talk to you guys about the whole procedure that was done, because, you know, we don't have to sit and go through those old grandma procedures anymore. It's 2024. Let's move on. Technology is there. So let's make it better for women.